Welcome to Startup Hack. All right, are you wondering if the rise of AI is spelling doom for our beloved Stack Overflow? Every junior developer out there has been there, and not even just junior. I mean, seniors doing it too, right? Where they're, man, how do I do this? Hit it up on Stack Overflow, and boom, you can find an answer, right? So are you skeptical about the claims that chatbots will make the world's largest development community obsolete? Because buckle up, we're going to dive into some stats and some things that definitely shows that Stack Overflow might be in trouble versus the AI debate, but let's dive into it today. All right, welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thomason. Here at Startup Hack, we train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and build custom software solutions for companies. With a decade of executive leadership as a fractional CTO and 25 years of software development, I've mastered transforming tech teams and products. All right, so that's right. After a quarter century in the coding trenches, I've seen my fair share of tech hype cycles. And while AI is undoubtedly powerful, I'm here to tell you that why I believe Stack Overflow's unique blend of human wisdom and community moderation will keep it relevant for years, but it's definitely getting hurt right now. So we're going to grab and talk about this analysis of the strengths and limitations of AI when it comes to solving real-world programming problems. Because by the end, I want you to have a clearer picture of why Stack Overflow remains an indispensable resource for developers in the age of AI. So let's talk about wisdom of the crowd and how powerful this is, right? Because Stack Overflow's secret sauce is the collective knowledge of millions of developers. So every answer is vetted by community through upvotes, downvotes, and comments, right? So if you give a wrong answer, it's going to get downvoted, right? Whereas AI can give you a wrong answer and everybody celebrates because it's a fancy computer, right? So the crowdsourced quality control ensures that the best solution is going to rise up to the top via the voting system. And this has been around for decades, right? But the AI model like ChatGPT can generate plausible sounding answers, but they'll lack the critical validation layer. So human readers can spot nuances and outdated answers, emerging the best practices, right? And so programming problems often require deep understanding of specific contexts and constraints, right? This is why senior developers who've been working in the industry for over 5 to 10 years are really valuable, right? Because Stack Overflow allows users to provide detailed information about their unique situation. Now, answers can engage in back and forth, and you'll see, comments, and sometimes your answers are down in the sub comments, right? And the answers are really important to understand down in those sub comments. But an AI model, while it may sound impressive, can definitely spout out something that you might think sounds really interesting. So this is a joke that was on social media some time back from Hacker News, and I really like this because this gives a great example of how context is needed, right? So this came out shortly after ChatGPT was released, and it says, "Dude, your job is done for." Scroll face. I just made an entire website with ChatGPT. You want to see it? And the other guy, I'm sure the developer on the right hand side, says, "Sure." And the other guy replies, "See user code and the file path," right? So this is just really highlights, why AI is never going to replace human wisdom, right? Because human wisdom has context, right? It understands that context is a big part of this, right? Programming requires the deep context and deep understanding. So in that case, it didn't understand that, it could spit out some HTML and some JavaScript and CSS together, but it didn't understand the concept that needed to be hosted onto a server, run by a web server, that you needed to be exercised to be able to, to get that to serve up. How are you going to get to the server? Now you need to make an update. It's not going to understand all that. So answers like on Stack Overflow, you'll see back and forth in engagements, right? So AI models, while they're impressive, they're going to struggle with any kind of contextual reasoning. So ask AI to generate a web page is great. Asking it to generate, deploy, modify, update, etc., is something that there's no way that it can do, right? So there's just this level of context you're never going to get from AI. So the best Stack Overflow answers don't just provide code, they'll also provide an explanation and a reason around the code. So I'll say, well, I did this and this is why I did it, right? It'll break down complex concepts and offer insights into best practices. So there's also an educational aspect, right? This continues to train developers as they're struggling to get through the problem, and a human can take and read 3 or 4 Stack Overflow answers and put them together in what they need, right? AI generated answers aren't going to do this. They're going to put together something that looks nice but it won't really help. So at the end of the day, you can teach a man to fish, but it's going to struggle to fish, and AI is going to go nowhere near water. Now, if your company is having a hard time and it's not connected, it's systems, and you're still doing a lot of swivel chair data entry, reach out, because here at Startup Pack, our specialty is connecting systems to make your company work like a well-oiled machine. So check out startuppack.com/Spencer. We can help you out. Now, one of the big problems with AI is it gives a false confidence trap, right? AI models are notoriously prone to hallucinations, which is where they confidently generate output that seems plausible, but it's actually incorrect. So Stack Overflow's voting systems help flag inaccurate, misleading answers, right? The community will act as a safety net. Now, the other part too is Stack Overflow benefits from diversity of the fact that it has a global community. So developers from different backgrounds, industries are going to all be contributing there. Now, there's also a trust factor, right? Over years of use, Stack Overflow has built up a reservoir of trust among developers. The reputation system provides a measure of answered credibility and track records. With AI, it's much harder to assess the trustworthiness of the answer. You have no idea if what's given back is really trustworthy or not. You see something that's been upvoted 1,800 times on Stack Overflow, you're going to trust that answer, right? So this is part of the other reason that you won't really know much about this. Now, this all being said, Stack Overflow is having a hard time. Since ChatGPT was released, their numbers are definitely down. So here's a chart of Stack Overflow since its inception in 2018, right? Or since 2018, right? So we can see that it was at 18 million, and it's really bounced back around since then. Now, something dramatic happened right about here, right? That you'll see. And this is when you see the release of ChatGPT. You're going to see that from here, it's met a major decline, right? It had a little uptick and then another major decline, right? So you've seen that it started to really, now it did peter off right here. And I think we're going to see it start to tick back up just a little bit, but we're definitely seeing that Stack Overflow and its community is definitely seeing a pinch with all of these changes, with a lot of people moving towards AI, right? And so there's a lot of talk about, what's going to happen to Stack Overflow as it gets through this. And so we're seeing a lot of different things, as you can see here. Did Stack Overflow just admit defeat to AI, right? And so if you can't beat them, join them seems to be the reaction to Stack Overflow's recent announcement of its partnership with OpenAI. Now, the reason that it did this is they're actually starting to feed some of this data into AI, into OpenAI, hoping that they can help improve it, right? At its core, the value of Stack Overflow has always been its vibrant community. For roughly 15 years, the community interaction has created a unique ecosystem of up-to-date, peer-reviewed engineering knowledge, right? And that is what Stack Overflow is good at, and why it is that I don't think the Stack Overflow is going to just go away overnight. And so I definitely think that it will have, a human touch, right? Stack Overflow is a community of people helping, and it's fostered a sense of camaraderie. And I think we're going to continue to see it do well. I think it's going to struggle for a while as we all try to figure out. I think there's going to be some impacts just with everybody. But at the end of the day, even the best Stack Overflow answer requires the judgment of the developer to implement effectively. Developers must assess the applicability of a solution to their specific context, weigh in trade-offs, and make decisions, right? But as we're seeing here already, we're starting to see developers rely too heavily on AI generated answers, and this is going to cause a massive bunch of problems. I was just reading a report that says that you're something like 50 times more likely to actually introduce security vulnerabilities if you're just straight up using AI generated code. So we've got to, as developers, make sure that we're very careful to make sure that we're using code that is safe as we put it into our projects. So I wanted to go over this report as well. So developers aren't worried that Gen AI will steal their jobs. Our Stack Overflow survey reveals, right? Generative AI is having a dramatic impact on the industry, as I would say the hype is having a dramatic impact on the industry. So this is where I even disagree, because already you can see this news article pumping into this hype hysteria, right? So it's revealing a global snapshot saying that, it's all down. Their developer survey is based on the response of more than 65,000 developers across 185. Survey offers key insights into the evolving tech landscape, focusing on generative AI and its impact on developers. Stack Overflow itself is no stranger to the world of Gen AI. It's had its own set of tools, to help with this, right? And so as we can see here, and if I can get this ad out of the way, So this article does a good job of summarizing, some of the findings from this. AI tool usage among developers increased to 76%, up from 70% in 2023. Despite increased usage, AI favorability decreased from 77 to 72%. Only 43% of respondents trust the accuracy of AI tools. 81% of developers cite increased productivity as the top benefit of AI. I agree with this, right? It does make you more productive to build boilerplate and others' code. Misinformation emerges as the top AI-related ethical concern, 79%. Now, by misinformation, what this is meaning is developers can recognize and spot that AI is going to give them an answer, even if it's wrong. So a surprising finding was that 70% of professional developers don't see AI as a threat to their jobs. This is exactly what I think is true, right? Gen AI isn't going to replace developers anytime soon. He says, we believe the generative AI will democratize coding and grow the developer community by several folds. If there are 20 to 25 million developers now, this could lead to a 10x growth of the important group. And I agree with this. I think what we're going to see is AI is going to continue to increase the number of developers, not decrease it. So just as Stack Overflow has had to adapt and evolve in its 14 plus year history, I believe it's going to continue to do so in the age of AI. The platform's strength lies in its ability to harness and curate collective human knowledge, right? It's the difference of wisdom versus knowledge. Can AI spit out something, i.e. knowledge? Yes. Is it going to be accurate? No, that's wisdom, right? And that's the difference. Can AI generate some code that might compile if you're lucky? Yes. Is it going to deploy that code? That's wisdom, right? The core value proposition of crowdsourced community validation solutions will continue to reign. So in the end, Stack Overflow's success lies in its ability to continuously evolve to meet the changing needs of developers. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that it's going to get slaughtered? Do you think that developers are going away? Love to hear your thought on it. Make sure to like and subscribe here at Startup Hack. We love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and to build custom software solutions for companies. So hit me up at startuphack.com/Spencer. We'd love to help you out.
Want to become a software developer but don't want to spend 4 years in college and rack up massive student loan debts? Think you need technical expertise to get started? Welcome to Startup Hack, a better way to start your software career without student loans and years without income. One-on-one tutoring is included so you never get stuck and have guidance through the whole process. No technical experience is necessary. Learn at your own pace and in your own space. Startup Hack has worked with local state agencies in your area to make it so that qualifying students can get the program costs covered entirely and students can start earning while they learn.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and I completed the full stack development course offered by Startup Hack. One thing setting Startup Hack apart from any other coding bootcamp was the quality of one-on-one tutoring available. All of the projects that we did were challenging and thought-provoking, but left me feeling very accomplished and very prepared for my first job that I was offered just days after completing the program.
Hello, I'm Tom, and I completed the full stack development course offered by Startup Hack, and I must say that it was an excellent experience. The tutors is what set this course apart from others. They were knowledgeable, experienced, and always available to help provide me with guidance and support. Do not hesitate to take advantage of this affordable and efficient software development course.
Complete our 3-month coding bootcamp, gain hands-on experience, and land a paid internship. With 2 years of experience, on average, our graduates are making over $80,000 per year. The 3-month program includes technologies from Microsoft, Google, and Facebook. No debt, just a quick path to earning. Check out startuphack.com to code